Heidi ho neighbors, Rado Goji here.
And I'm certainly Greg.
And welcome to Squeeze the World video podcast for this week. Today is Thursday, November 1st.
Yes.
This should be going up sometime this weekend.
Happy All Saints Day.
As you can see, we're in a bit of a different location.
This room we're in has changed.
Yeah, I'm at my parents' house.
Has changed.
But I talked about that before. Hopefully you can hear us from...
Hopefully. This is a different setup than we're used to.
Yeah,
the camera is on the other side of a table, so you're kind of farther away from us. Hopefully you can still see us. We're both kind of slouching here. We're very drained because as our, what are you playing this week? Patrick just got finished playing in one sitting the new game Deltarune by Toby Fox. And Deltarune Chapter 1.
We would have recorded this much earlier if not for that. It's almost 10 o'clock now.
You had to finish it.
Yeah, I really had to. Because I'm not going to be able to play it any other way. I don't have a computer that can run Windows or Mac, and that's the only way that you can play it. So
hopefully, we can find some way to do it online. And hopefully, whatever form that game comes out in, you will be able to play. But we'll talk about that later.
Yep. So, what have you been playing this week, Greg?
Deltarune. I played it over 2 days. I finished it today, and got a slightly different ending than the one Patrick got because he was nice and pacifist, and I let Susie murder people. Beat them until they ran away. Other than that,
how far did you get in Dragon Quest XI? I should say.
I have not gotten much farther in Dragon Quest XI, no. I played some Dead by Daylight on Halloween with my wife. She watched. Other than that, not a lot on the...
I know he's at least far enough to have Sylvando in his
video. Yeah, I have Sylvando. I'm in not Venice.
But, okay, I know where you are.
Yeah, but, it's good. It's still good. Yeah.
I've gotten...
Neither of us are playing Red Dead Redemption 2, so...
I'm not interested. In all honesty,
I'm gonna pick it up around Christmas.
I'm trying to keep away from too many open world action games. It seems to be the only thing that anyone wants to make anymore. But the past couple weeks, I did beat like 6 games.
Oh, okay.
Because I got you saw me beat Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People.
Yes.
That's 5-episode Telltale game.
That is why we did not have a podcast last week because Patrick was, and then Deltarune almost ruined this podcast.
And then I've also beaten like 5 other games, all of which coincidentally were developed by Sega. I beat Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, Tails Adventure, Dragon Crystal, and Ristar.
You also beat the original Genesis Castle of Illusion too.
Practice mode doesn't count.
It kind of counts.
I still count that as like one game as far as my clears for the year. Anyway.
That's fair.
So let's
keeps track of his clears for the year. How many do you have now?
Like 34.
Damn, son. I don't really keep track.
I started keeping track recently because I want to do a feature on it at some point.
I hate to keep harping on it, but I beat Deltarune. That's one. That's one in my win category.
I'll probably count that.
Last game I beat... it was 2.5 hours long. Last game I beat before that... Fuck, I don't even know. Oh, I beat Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, right, you said that.
Without save states.
Yes.
That was a bitch.
That's impressive.
Slip Slide Ride is a dick and a half.
Mm-hmm. All the X levels are.
Well, of course, the big news today... Big news specifically on this day. Today, as of course you know now, being from the future, today was the final Nintendo Direct prior to the release of the new Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. And today, Waluigi fans worldwide gathered for torches and pitchforks following today's Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Brothers, as the final planned playable characters were revealed. Ken Masters from Street Fighter, as an Echo Fighter for Ryu. Incineroar, the customary current generation Pokemon newcomer, and the first planned DLC character, Piranha Plant.
A Piranha Plant.
Patrick, how do you feel about these choices, and how angry are you that Chie Satonaka has been robbed yet again?
The latter question steamed. Steamed hams.
I need her beef bowl finisher.
Yeah. I'm actually, honestly, weirdly okay with piranha plants.
I have no problem with piranha plants.
I'm wondering how they're going to make it work. I'm wondering how because I could probably guess all of its B button attacks. B is chomp. Side B, also chomp.
Some variant.
Up in B, chomp. And down in B, probably some kind of a chomp.
Expands like upward, like a.
I'm sure there'll be a fireball.
To, like, get up. Yeah. Oh yeah. He probably has like a charge. He charges up and then spits out a fireball, and the fireball is bigger depending on how long he charges. When they do that, you heard it here first. That was our scoop. That was
yeah.
Smash Brothers character has a charge attack. This is front page news.
I'm gonna be honest. I know that I kept saying that I'm probably not gonna pick up Smash because I always get overhyped for it, then pick it up and never play it. But I think that I'm gonna pick it up.
Really?
I'm kind of getting excited for a lot of the characters. I'm really looking forward to playing as Richter Belmont.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Actually, I could probably do it now, but I kind of want to learn how to play as Bayonetta because when Bayonetta came out in the last Smash game, I wasn't into Bayonetta at the time, but now I kind of am. So.
And I never purchased the DLC to add Bayonetta to the game.
I did. I got all the characters, even the ones like Corrin.
I, however, have already pre-purchased Smash Brothers because it's a Christmas present for my son.
Yep. I wonder how many of the new DLC characters will be Fire Emblem characters. Because they already have 7 now.
Well, they have that wonderful leak of characters, the fake leak, that they can now make a reality. They now know what people want in their Smash Brothers. And it's Gino and the dude from Golden Sun.
Isaac, yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of hoping for Isaac and Gino.
And Bowsette.
And Banjo and Kazooie. I know that's not going to happen, that last one.
Yeah, and more than anything else, I think what tips the hand for that leak being fake is Banjo-Kazooie. Because Microsoft has a pretty hard
grip on
Rare.
Although Phil Spencer has said that he would like to see Banjo and Kazooie in Smash. I know a lot of like the higher ups at companies are fans of other companies' consoles and stuff, but it's also probably so they can rake in more licensing money.
You wait until naked Norman Reedus is in Smash with a baby on next to him on an umbilical cord.
Yeah, I will say, at the very least, Cloud Strife does have a reason to be in Smash now because Final Fantasy VII is coming out on the Switch.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
That was one of the first things I thought about. Like, okay, now there's a reason for Cloud to be in Smash.
All the PlayStation ones are now in there except for 8. And
so the ones that matter.
I also noticed hilariously, you can now get Night Trap on the Switch, the classic 90s FMV horror game, which is notable because back during the early 90s video game violence panic, Nintendo testified to Congress, and Night Trap was one of the games that came up, and Nintendo said that a game with content like that would never be allowed on a Nintendo console. So, like,
that is funny.
Like almost 30 fucking years later, now you can buy Night Trap on a Nintendo console.
You know what Night Trap's also known for?
What?
Being a shitty game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who asked for Night Trap? Who asked for a sequel to Shaq Fu? Who's asking for another Bubsy game? I just thought of that.
We had this discussion over Facebook Messenger, and my honest theory is that the Bubsy franchise is a front for money laundering.
It's gotta be.
The mob it's 3 guys in the back of a pizza parlor who are cranking out those Bubsy games, and they're just laundering mob money through them.
Bubsy 1 and 2 are considered by most to be mediocre at best. Bubsy 3D is one of the worst games ever made. And Woolly Strike Back, which is one that came out recently, was critically panned. So why do they think that they can make another one and people will still buy it? I don't know.
Because Bubsy has that name recognition, you know.
For being a shit game.
Whenever Bubsy is not on screen, everyone should be asking, where's Bubsy? Where's Bubsy?
Why isn't Bubsy in Smash?
Why isn't Bubsy in Smash? Bubsy and Shaq from Shaq Fu and Hydlide.
Hydlide.
He bumps up against the other players. And, oh, fuck, I don't know.
Do you know what the Knight in Hydelights name is?
No, I don't.
Jim.
Really?
I think it's...
How the fuck do you know that? I assumed his name was... I assumed his name was Hydelide.
I think his name is Jim.
His name is Hydelide.
Next time.
So, yeah, Smash Brothers. Gonna come out, gonna make people happy or not happy. And speaking of Richter Belmont, the PlayStation, we've previously reported on the PlayStation HD, which is coming out. It is sort of the Sony's answer to the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, all the other consoles that are coming out. Mm-hmm. Finally had its list of games, revealed, and those games are somewhat underwhelming, in my opinion.
I think it could have been worse.
I mean,
but there are definitely some omissions.
It could have been worse. It could have just been Bubsy.
It could have been Bubsy 3D. Bubsy 3D wasn't PS1.
It's pretty bad. No Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, that is...
No Tomb Raider. No Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
The director's...
No Spyro.
The director's cut. No Resident Evil except the director's cut of the first game, which, incidentally, please, if you're watching this... Oh, fuck, I can't remember what the name of it is. There is a go listen to the soundtrack from the... I'll see if we can get it to play right here. The soundtrack from the Resident Evil director's cut, the lower mansion music, the mansion basement song.
Oh, that's right. They had to redo a lot of the music because of the rights.
Is the worst goddamn thing ever recorded in a video game. It's like somebody took a spooky clown piano
yes.
and had a cat walk back and forth across it. It's like... It's literally just random. It's the worst goddamn thing, and that's what they're inflicting on us.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, no other Final Fantasy games. Wild Arms
yeah.
as the other big RPG. Although, interestingly enough, the first Persona is on there. Well, the version that we got of the first Persona.
Not the PSP version either.
Not the PSP version, which is the superior version.
Yeah, they have the one that you can't get 100% in at all because they took out an entire side quest because they couldn't find a way to Americanize it.
Wait a second. Is that the one where the kid's in blackface? Did they put blackface Persona 1 on the PlayStation?
I think they did.
Oh! Yeah, okay, for those of you who've never played Persona, the original Persona was a PlayStation 1 game, and it was brutally difficult and featured a character in blackface. So when we got the PlayStation Portable remake, which is the version most people who played it, was most significantly easier, replaced some cut content, and changed that character, and wow.
Well, the reason that the character was in blackface is because they were trying to Americanize everything. They were trying to get rid of any sort of even hint that it might take place in Japan, because that's what they were trying to do with the Revelations series, which is what they were trying to do with Shin Megami Tensei. So one of the characters was changed to a black guy.
Didn't they? No, that was Persona 2.
Like a lot of people's hair color was changed around to make it look more American. But yeah, an entire side quest was taken out because they couldn't find a way to Americanize it, so they just blocked the door that you could use to access the side quest, and you can't even get 100% on clear in it. And then after a while, like when Persona 2 Eternal Punishment came out, because the first part of Persona 2 didn't come out first.
Right.
I think they just started sticking with everything, and then they just said, fuck it, and then everything was just Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah. And now, of course, that's where most of their money comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so many of the games on this PlayStation thing are just absolute stinkers. Cool Borders, Intelligence Cube, where people
people were actually excited for Intelligence Cube and Jumping Flash.
Anybody who, if you had to name the 10 most iconic games on the PlayStation, nobody is going to bring up fucking Cool Borders.
I can see Cool Borders being
Night. They're going to say Resident Evil 2. They're going to say all the Final Fantasies, all the Twisted Metals.
From what I understand, Jumping Flash is very well liked. People would also say Ape Escape Ape Escape isn't on there, but you have to have a DualShock in order to play Ape Escape.
Boy, all those like shitty 3D platformers that were trying to chase the Mario 64 money. Ape, Spyro, Bubsy.
Yeah, Spyro and Crash aren't on there at all.
I'd love to see them form like some sort of like Expendables-esque team, where it's like the Ape from Ape Escape and Bubsy and Spyro and like what's like another garbage like 3D platformer, like the
Spyro wasn't garbage.
The bee from that N64 game where
Bumble.
you were like a bee that flew around. Yes.
Bumble.
Oh my god. Yes.
I'm not going to wrap it.
Oh yes. So what else has been going on this week? Well, there's been yet another amusing glitch in a series of terrible press for Fallout 76. If you're playing the Fallout 76 beta and enjoying it, that's fantastic. But if you see somebody running past you at 3 times your speed, flailing wildly, you may be seeing the latest Fallout 76 glitch in action.
Glitches in a Bethesda game?
No. Basically, they did the Dark Souls thing, which is what I think of it as, because the original Dark Souls on PC had this issue, which is why it was hard-coded to 30 frames per second, just like Fallout 76. All of the action speed in the game is tied to the frame rate. So you can go into the initial files in the game to manually increase the maximum approved frame rate above 30. Mm-hmm. So if you, for example, have a machine that can run the game at 60 frames per second, which you might, it's not, it's a fairly modest system requirement. You can up it to that, and boom, your character is now moving twice as fast as everyone else, and attacks twice as fast as everyone else, heals twice as fast as everyone else, which normally, when that happens in a single-player game, is just a funny curiosity.
Yeah.
But being that this is a multiplayer game with a real-world cash shop, that kind of is big.
And it's not like you're just on your end either. Like, other people can see you going twice as fast and everything.
I've seen videos of it. Bethesda did say that they warned us before the thing happened, before the beta, that they were going to have some staggering, amazing bugs, and they really have. I just hope that the release is just as entertaining for someone who's not actually playing the game.
It's a Bethesda game. The bugs are part of the charm now, apparently.
No, it's not.
That's why they don't fix them in Skyrim.
Well, sometimes, occasionally a bug will be hilarious, like the bug, the giants in Skyrim hitting you so hard that you go flying into the stratosphere was originally
skeleton dragons.
A bug, and they decided to keep it. And the thing where, it's Thomas the Tank Engine coming over the mountains.
That's a mod.
That was, but Video Game Donkey told me it was, okay, never mind. Some good news, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is officially coming out in the West.
Thank you.
After, it was all Patrick's personal agitation, this game podcast, agitating for that to happen. We got Dragon Quest Builders in the West. Thank you. Holla!
Yeah, I did read, I think last week, that Dragon Quest XI actually had, the best launch week overseas than any other game in the franchise.
Yes, I heard that as well, which is interesting because I was under the impression that its sales were lackluster.
Yeah, because Square usually doesn't pull that card unless they're concerned that it's not going to meet their goals. But apparently it met it enough, because that game that I want is coming into style.
Yes. So we're all going to play that together on the Switch, right?
Yes, we are.
And you're going to play it with us on the Switch.
As long as there's
maybe more details
other
on
people,
that.
I don't know. We're going to get a bug card.
We'll figure that out.
There's a bug card.
A bug card.
Yeah.
Well, Square has always sort of come down harsher on their Western game franchises than their native ones. I remember that Squeenix considered the original Tomb Raider reboot a failure, even though it sold something like 3 million copies.
Oh, yeah. Well, people would buy the damn things.
Speaking of considering things that make massive amounts of profit, to be failures. Patrick, you want to talk about Battlefield?
Oh, yeah. DICE, the developers of Battlefield, and basically one of those many developers that's been eaten by EA but not shat out yet.
Yes. Legs sticking... my legs are kicking. You can't see it. Legs sticking out of the giant's mouth.
Yeah, they and BioWare have avoided being canned so far.
BioWare's dead, man. Well, it depends on how Anthem
Not
does.
Officially, yeah. They haven't been, announced dead yet. But anyway.
When we do our 2019 like Pony and Poison, yeah, Anthem is definitely on my this is gonna flop list. Anyway,
DICE, the representative from DICE, I don't know who came out and basically said that the microtransactions that they're being forced to put into the game, it's only going to be for aesthetics, guys. We totally promise.
Totes magotes.
We promise.
It's only going to be for cosmetics.
Until the shareholders say something about that.
Cosmetics that make you more powerful.
Yeah.
As every woman knows, cosmetics make you more powerful in real life. And, I went off on a rant about this with you when we were talking about it on Facebook Messenger earlier, that while making a AAA video game is a staggering amount of work, that really, to be honest, the huge AAA shoot-mans franchises like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and the like, have a fairly simple job. I mean, they just, much like the only people I can think of who would have these are the sports game genre. You pretty much have to just iterate on the franchise every year, have it out in time for Christmas, and you'll make a boatload of money. You have climbed to the top. You have name recognition. Anybody who wants to come at you has to innovate, and then you can just copy their innovation, which is what happened with Titanfall. So you have, essentially, when you're a AAA franchise like Battlefield or Call of Duty, you have the golden goose. And they're just wrapping their fucking hands around that goose and squeezing as tight as they possibly can. With microtransactions, with DLC,
season passes.
Like I was stated, I think I quoted that one to you that when you know how the microtransaction system works, and you still don't know what exactly you're getting day one with the game, somewhere along the line someone done fucked up, and that's the situation that we have with Battlefield V right now. And that's never a good place to be in. And again, I know that making a new Battlefield game is a ridiculous, absurd amount of effort. I'm not discounting that at all, but it seems like something that wouldn't be that easy to screw up, just building on what you've already built each year and making something that's more or less the same thing, but they'll screw it up with greed.
They'll put
it's not enough millions.
No, there's never enough millions because to quote Jim Sterling, they don't want just enough money; they want all the money. Well, the shareholders want it.
Well, yeah, of course.
And those are the real customers. That's the real fan base. There are the shareholders. They don't give a shit about.
That's sort of the root of the problem.
Yeah. Why are they even calling it Battlefield 5? It's not the 5th Battlefield game. There have been many Battlefield games, lots more than 5.
I don't even know, is it the 5th mainline Battlefield game? I mean, if you don't count...
they called one of them Battlefield 1, and
yes,
it wasn't
and then they followed it up with Battlefield 5.
You know what was Battlefield 1? Battlefield 1942. That was Battlefield 1.
The first Battlefield was actually in Mesopotamia somewhere, I'll have you know. And I would play a Battlefield game where you're a primitive man, and all you have are rocks and like a spear and like your prestige when you kill enough people and you get the airdrop and it's like a flaming stick. It's a stick that's on fire and you hit people with it. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I would play the shit out of that game.
Call of Duty Stone Age Warfare.
Like the real Battlefield 1, like the first Battlefield. Like this tribe went at that tribe. It was like 20 guys. Because that's all that their multiplayer thing can actually handle these days anyway. It used to be fucking 64 people, but, now we can just get 20 on each side or whatever,
I'm just really nitpicky about game titles nowadays anyway, especially with Red Dead Redemption 2. It's Red Dead Revolver 3. There is nothing really to differentiate.
We were just talking about how, like, Persona has had, like, 4 different fucking names depending on where you were in the series when it came.
Persona's a side series.
It was Shin Megami Tensei. It was on PS.
Well, that was an American. That was just like an Americanization. Was that? And Persona's a side series anyway. They have it numbered separately.
Red Dead Redemption is a side series. It's a billion.
A side series.
It's a billion
coming off of one game.
It's a $1 billion franchise. That is a side series for a game that is not particularly well remembered. Absolutely. Just like Battlefield V is a side series for Battlefield Bad Company 2.
What was that, like Battlefield 12?
It's an alternate universe interpretation of Battlefield Vietnam.
I remember when Video Game Donkey did his Black Ops 4 video, it was called Call of Duty 15 Black Ops 4.
Yeah, pretty much. If you were on the internet on Halloween, you may have noticed a frightening surprise on the internet.
Frightening.
A spooky man by the name of Toby Fox
spooky
made some posts on October 30th indicating that something interesting would be happening on the 31st if you were a fan of Undertale. And a website popped up, Deltarune.com, that appeared to be some sort of survey in which you created a vessel, and I opened it and was doing it and thinking, okay, he wants feedback on what the player character of the next game should look like. And no, in fact, what it ended up being was a 2.5 hour game called Deltarune, which is an anagram of Undertale.
Oh, is it?
Yes, well, I mean, the Deltarune was in Undertale.
I know that.
But yeah, it's an anagram of Undertale.
I don't notice anagrams.
Much like the definition of an anagram, Deltarune has all the same characters, but in different positions. You get it? Anagram? Anagram, that lady from Deadly Premonition?
Yes.
It also means the word anagram, which is when things are switched around.
Do you feel it, Zach? My coffee warned me about this.
I played it. Patrick played it. It's good.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't feel comfortable now anointing it as this game good is because you need to have played Undertale in order to understand what the fuck's going on, and we haven't actually gotten around to adding Undertale to this game good yet.
We need to do that. Let's just do that real quick right now.
Oh yeah, by the way, the official this game good. We'd like to add another title to what do we have on there right now?
Dragon Quest
Downwell and Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
Also, Undertale. If you've never played Undertale, if you're one of the 2 people watching this, you might be one of the 2 people who's never played Undertale before.
And if you're one of the 2 people watching this, you've probably watched us play Undertale.
Probably.
Early last year.
That game, good.
That game, good.
This game, good. Go buy Undertale. It is now available on the console of your choice. Or it's on PC, Mac, and Linux for like $10 on Steam.
Console of your choice unless you play Xbox.
Well, yes.
But yeah, it's on Switch.
That's fair.
It's on PS4.
I forgot about that.
Play that.
Then go download Deltarune.
Do Deltarune.
And play Deltarune. Because it's good.
Unfortunately only available on Windows and Mac. I mean, I know most people have that anyway, but I had to play on his laptop.
I thought that was weird that they don't have a Linux version when there's been a Linux version of
Undertale
for so long. What gives? So yeah, lots of speculation going on. Patrick, just finished the game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he has thoughts.
And we had different endings and stuff too.
Yes, we did have different endings.
Because I went
slightly different.
Full pacifist like I usually do. He just let the tough character Susie just beat everyone up.
I went pacifist for like the first 2/3 of the game, and then when it occurred to me that they weren't actually, nobody was actually dying when I attacked them. They ran away. So I thought, well, between that and the whole hammering home at the beginning and throughout that your choices don't actually matter, I figured they wouldn't actually matter. And then it turned out that they did. You son of a bitch. But yeah, the final plot thread, I don't want to be too terribly spoilery, but the final plot thread is different depending, although the last scene is not. And apparently, the game, the program actually checks date and time, and it checks against your Undertale installation. So there's all sorts of speculation that
there may be like a
that they may
like
be
like an import thing.
There might be something that's going to unlock inside of Undertale. There might be things that are going to change depending on whether you did a pacifist run or a genocide run in Undertale. Nobody's really sure. Personally, I have no idea. We're both still kind of just coming down off the Deltarune.
Now, when it comes out, should I get it on Linux or should I just wait till it comes out on Switch or what?
I have no idea. I don't know what form this is going to come out in.
I know. The Switch version has a special mini boss though that you can do.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I have the PlayStation 4 version, which has the shrine of uselessness to get all of your achievements.
The in the Switch version, the dog shrine of uselessness is actually destroyed, and that's where the mini boss is.
Oh, nice! And I am actually upset that to bring this back to Smash Brothers, I'm upset that Sans and Papyrus aren't in Smash Brothers. Honestly,
are you genuinely upset?
No. No, that I would never have expected that.
They've only been on Switch for like
it would have been cool
as
hell. It would be cool as hell to have some sort of Undertale themed level in a Smash Brothers game. It won't happen. Well, until the next generation, because this is already the game that's dethroning Final Fantasy VII and Ocarina of Time on GameFAQs. So in 20 years, they'll be talking about.
Oh yeah, tried to basically dethrone them like 2 months after it came out.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that good.
But what did you think of Deltarune?
I liked it. I would like to learn more.
I have many questions.
Citizenship. Service guarantee citizenship.
Service guarantee.
I would like to learn more.
I would like to know more. I'm interested in where this is going. I really hope it's the intro to a much longer game.
I think it will be.
That would be awesome.
I think that Deltarune is eventually going to be like a full game, and that was just basically a demo.
I really, I do hope, however, that whatever it is, we can import from, because I don't necessarily want it. I mean, 2.5 hours is a long fucking demo, and I wouldn't necessarily want to have to just go back through that and play it at the beginning of the game yet again.
Oh, right. I'm going to have to.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I'm also interested to know, God, just so much. Is the shit with the vessel going to come back at all? I feel like that's
maybe they'll actually let you.
somewhere.
Maybe they'll actually let you make the vessel, and it's just the whole getting rid of it and naming yourself something else was for the demo.
Was that Azrael in the Dark World? What is the fuck is with the fact that the 7 flowers are in divorced dad Asgore's attic in glass?
You're getting spoilery.
Yes, I am. Well,
I'll put up a disclaimer beforehand.
General spoilers for Deltarune. Oh, you missed a few things. I was going to say, one of the big things you missed is that if you head south all the way, Patrick was really trying to wrap it up. If you head south all the way south out of town, the music cuts out, and then you get to a big-ass door in the ground that's like a bunker. and it's really obvious that it leads to like the underground, but you can't go in there. It's all like rusted shut. So whatever happened in this universe, apparently the underground is not where all the monsters live.
Maybe that's where the humans live.
Maybe. I think it's really weird. I don't know who this Chris person is really supposed to be. He has a human soul, and he's generally agreed to be a human, but he's the only human living in a town filled with monsters, and everybody is just cool with this.
But you know who else was a human living in a town full of monsters? Chara.
That's true as well. The fallen human.
So I think that it's I think it might be a like kind of an inverse. So like maybe the humans are living downstairs, and then like Chris got kicked up somehow.
Kicked up.
And now he's living with Toriel.
One of the things I really liked, and that really stood out to me the second time going through it, watching you play it, is how much the game brings to mind, the entire Dark World section of the game brings to mind the original Undertale. Like, you have, like, the intro bit, and then there's this big door, and it's like, once you go through this door, your adventure will really begin, which is exactly what happened when you left the ruins in the original Undertale. Mm-hmm. And then you go to a castle, and you see it in the distance, and there's, like, a little dungeon that has a shop, like, right in the lobby of it, and you go up through the throne room and everything, and it just sort of got hammered home when you got back to the town, and then you go in your house, and the home theme starts playing again. Emotional moment, incidentally. Yeah.
And all the characters, all the characters are there, but like they're not the same. Like Undyne doesn't know who Alphys is.
Right, and Sans just moved to town.
with
I was so glad to see Sans again, by the way. And that's totally Metatron, who's in Nabstabluke's house, by the way. Who calls you darling.
Oh, he called me darling.
Told you to prance on home. That's Metatron who's in there.
You know what came to mind when I saw that? Sylvando.
Sylvando! Yes!
Because that, like, I didn't think of it Metatron. They're like, darling, what does Sylvando live in Nabstabluke's house now?
I don't know. Are we... what the fuck are we? We turned into Chara at the end? What was that? I mean, obviously this has happened before because we've got a convenient cage to store our heart in. By the way, that bedroom, super creepy. One half, Asriel, covered in trophies, has a video game console, all sorts of shit. Your side of the room, bed, empty shelves, cage with a blood stain.
Also, if you check the video game console under Asriel's bed, it has one regular controller and one knockoff.
Yeah, I noticed that too. So yeah, we just spoiled Deltarune for you. Hope you didn't watch this prior to playing.
I put disclaimers up and say skip to this point.
And just mechanically, I liked it so much. The battle system still feels fun. It feels like it took the good parts of Undertale's battle system and built on it. And I really do get almost like a Persona thing from it. I know you mentioned the battle theme when you were playing it being very Persona.
Yeah, it's like a mix between like Persona and Sonic.
Yeah, I feel like the you're in school. I mean, I felt a little bit of Persona that you're in school. There's like a portal that in the closet that takes you to like a dark world where you resolve things.
That's actually more like SMTF.
Yeah, where you resolve things and then you come back basically to school, and then apparently, people mentioned tomorrow gets mentioned a couple times in the game in terms of let's go back to the dark world tomorrow. Sans wants to recruit you to help him with something tomorrow. So I have every reason to believe that the next chapter of this game will literally take place the next day. And that's sort of
maybe it'll come,
how it's going to roll.
Maybe it was looking at the time on your computer, and the next part's going to come out tomorrow.
No, I don't think so, because it came out on the 31st.
Yeah,
I would have loved that. But
it's just like an episodic game that we're just getting parts of as we go along.
I don't think Toby Fox has done that much work. But please complete the next chapter as soon as possible, because I have to know what happens next. What the fuck? I feel like I felt like walking around that town, I felt like the way I did when we played Life is Strange and we saved Chloe's dad, and then we had the cutscene with like the completely different like version of the town where like
oh yeah, like Universe
David. Yeah, Universe B, where David is the bus driver, and like everybody's like different,
and you're hanging out with the cool kids.
Max is friends with Victoria. Yeah,
Biff is the mayor.
That's how I felt walking around the town in Undertale. Like, oh god, everything's different. What have I done? Yeah, it's good. You should play it.
Just go ahead and just download that and play.
Motherfucker, it's free.
It's free. But you should also buy Undertale and play that first.
You should. Because you won't understand
what the fuck. It's not going to make sense.
It won't make any goddamn sense. The weird thing is I know that there is at least one human being in this world who has never played Undertale, but because of this, like, saw this news and because it was free, they downloaded Deltarune and played it. And I really want to talk to that person and find out what the fuck they think is going on.
Honey, it's okay. Darling!
Favorite new character? Favorite new character from Deltarune?
Lancer.
I was gonna do one, two, three, Lancer! Lancer is so great. Runner up, rules card.
Yeah.
And his terrible puzzles. God damn it. I have an even better puzzle right here. Can we see it? No. So good.
And that, of course, went into a Steam Hands thing with us.
So good.
Yes.
No, I absolutely think that was influenced at least a little bit by Steam Hands.
I'd like to think it was.
I'd like to think it was a shout out. And on that note, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
All right. Well, that's been the Squeeze the World Gaming Podcast this week. We hope you've now learned all the news that you need to know about the video game industry for the week. You don't need to know any other shit.
Just Deltarune's out.
Fuck that. Until then, I've been
Ray Greg, and he's been Soylent Greg. And we'll be here next time. Join us, won't you?